Are you still losing premium roofing jobs to lowball competitors? I'm Adam Sands, CEO of the Roofing Business Partner. Today, Ryley Brown, RBP's Customer Success Manager, reveals how to become the trusted advisor who sells premium packages 9 out of 10 times. Trust me, this will transform your close rate.
We are going to be talking about how to consistently upsell or manage to sell your best package and best practices in order to do that. Ultimately, it's going to break down into a couple of things. The biggest one, becoming a trusted advisor, showcasing premium value and making it make sense. If you are able to consistently do this in every single appointment, whether you are with a 40-year-old contractor that used to do this himself, but he's too old or his wife's too scared for him to get on the roof anymore, or you're with a 25-year-old brand new homeowner or a 70-year-old grandma, this is how to be able to put yourself in the best position. Now, will you sell the highest quality package every single time? Obviously not, but it will put you in a better position overall to sell the good package every single time you do sell. Becoming a trusted advisor is pertinent in every single appointment that you run. Within an hour of an appointment, if they do not trust you, truthfully, you may as well leave, because you definitely aren't going to be making a sale that day. Within an hour, it's psychologically kind of just human nature to be able to trust someone, typically within like 20 to 25 minutes. They get a good feel on whether or not you are a trustworthy person or if you have the right intentions. So how do we become a trusted advisor? Now, these are things that you can implement in 2 hours when you run your next appointment, but it takes years to master. Truthfully, even though I do have the qualifications that I have, I wouldn't say I was a master at every single appointment. There were still appointments that I had no clue what to do, or there was no way I could have prepped for it. Sometimes, no matter what you do or how you do it, you may not be able to get to the point of trust where actual real excitement comes out. So what you need to do is impress them with your deep knowledge. You need to be more knowledgeable than every single sales rep that came before you or may come after you. But not only do you have to have an in-depth knowledge, you need to be able to explain it in a way that they understand. You need to explain things differently if you're meeting with a 45-year-old grumpy pants or a 70-year-old grandma. On top of that is the proof that you know what you're talking about. There's a lot of psychological play that's going on in a roofing sales appointment. For example, like during your call to action, when you're telling the homeowners about the urgency, there's a reason why you explain things first and then show pictures on the back end. So what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to not rely on photos to guide the process of your explanation or conversation. You're going to explain all of the urgency they're having, and then you are going to prove to them that you know what you're talking about by then showing them the pictures. Another crucial thing was putting the explanation in a way that they can understand and relate to. People instinctually trust people that act like themselves or talk like themselves. That's why it's going to be so important to be a chameleon in the house and adapt to your surroundings. In terms of being a chameleon in the house and adapting to your surroundings, there's been times and appointments where I've smoked a cigarette with the homeowner, even though that I don't smoke. There's been times where I've asked for a beer after they told me no for the first time because they were sipping on one the entire appointment. You have to figure out every single possible way to get them to think that you're exactly like them. On top of that, there's a lot of phrases that you can use that make it more blunt and apparent. It's all about your skill and understanding where you are, who you're with, and how to portray yourself. This is going to massively increase the perception homeowners have of you and increase your confidence as well. The actual product that you sell isn't going to be in your control. Okay, obviously you guys work for a specific roofing company. They have specific manufacturers they use. They have a warranty that the manufacturers create. So there's a lot of things that you don't have in your control on the actual product, but how you sell it is 110% in your control. Roofing is all about component selling. How good you are at component selling is a direct correlation in selling the best roof you have consistently. And there's a couple ways of doing it. The first thing is going to be explaining every single aspect of your roof in a way that the homeowner understands, and then asking if they understand and answering any questions that they have. And then on top of that, speak it into the future on how it's going to protect them. If they do not have questions, that means that they aren't necessarily engaged or locked in or aren't thinking about how important the features that you are showing them are. Every single item that you have, you need to show it to the homeowner Let them touch it and feel it and hold it and forecast why it matters. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what this breathable underlayment does is in the summertime, your attic is going to get very, very hot. And it's also going to become very, very moist because a typical household expels 2 gallons of moisture every single day, whether it's cooking or showering or just breathing. Now, what happens with that moisture? Some of it is going to go out your siding or your windows or just get expelled naturally. On top of that, heat rises and so does moisture. Okay, when moisture rises, it's going to get trapped in your attic. And with moisture in a hot, dark place, what can actually start growing? Unfortunately, mold. So what this breathable underlayment does is moisture can actually expel through the underlayment, through the shingles, and outside. So what that's going to do is it's going to prevent your attic from overheating, having sap coming out of your rafters, and even prevent mold growth. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, do you see how this can be really, really important, especially here in Indiana, Chicago, Georgia, where we have very, very hot summers? That is exactly how every single component of your roof needs to be explained, forecasted, and verified by the homeowner. In order to gain trust from the homeowner, you need to make them think, I never thought about that before. If you make the homeowner think that, you know you are on the right track to sales town, ladies and gentlemen, because not only are you explaining things in a way that they understand, but you are also forecasting it in ways that actually relate and matter to them. At the end of the day, all you're trying to do, especially when you lay off price and your price conditioning and all that stuff, is make sure that they see you on their side. So you're not selling them something, you're presenting them a solution. And the trust aspect of that, which you've been building from the very, very beginning, allows them to think of you as on their side of the kitchen table. You're not sitting across from them, you're sitting next to them trying to help them find a solution.